Hello and welcome to a brand new series named Tier List Tuesdays, where I'm going to be doing a tier list for every Tuesday, and I'm going to start off with something that the channel has been dedicated to so far, uh, Football Manager and its positions mainly. And first of all, easiest one in the pack, advance forward. It's literally the best striking role in the entire game. You've got a striker that can do a tiny bit of everything. I know that's supposed to be the complete forward, but the advanced forward is just superior in every aspect, really. And then next, attacking midfielder. I think it's just below the top tier of Football Manager. I do think it's very useful in certain formations and certain tactics and certain teams, but in terms of would you be playing an attacking midfielder in like lower leagues? Not really. You'd want somebody a lot either more defensive or more attacking. Next is Anchorman, where I think I'm gonna put that below attacking midfielder. I do think all these roles would be brilliant in the right teams, but once again, Anchorman's a tiny bit more passive when it comes down to the lower leagues of Football Manager. Like, it can be useful, like especially in the higher divisions. People like using ball-winning midfielders as a sitting player, but I'd much rather use an anchorman or a halfback in that position because they're a lot more like possession orientated. But yeah, for the lower leagues, anchorman, you die if you play him, if you play that position. Advanced playmaker, once again, same thing with the anchorman. Like with advanced playmaker, I know they do get around the box really well, but once again, lower leagues, it'll just cripple you if you play them. If you play an anchorman and advanced playmaker in the Premier League, if you're like Chelsea, Man City, perfect. But if you're playing as like Wrexham in like League Two next season, I think them two positions would catch you out a bit. Um, Box to box midfielder, I'm gonna put it in the same level as attacking midfielder because I think in all divisions of Football Manager, the box to box is just a sure thing, and I don't think it gets into the higher echelons because it isn't overpowered like advanced forward is. But I do think it's quite useful in every single league in the game. I'm gonna put ball playing defender in the second tier as well. I do think it's been nerfed to hell, this Football Manager. I don't like how it's essentially like a what you'd expect a libero is, where they just spray passes out. I kind of don't like that in this year's Football Manager. I kind of like a centre back that's got like passing abilities, but not actively looking to play somebody through all the while. So that's why the ball playing defender is in that second tier. Ball winning midfielder in the same tier. I think if this was a lot more like if you put it on support, and if support was like gets to the edge of the box level, this is definitely top tier. But because it's kind of a bit standoffish and they're like sort of staying a bit deeper, I think that's where it stays. If that was a lot more active in attacking, like Kante was towards the end of his Chelsea career, ball winning midfielder would be overpowered and you'd probably need to nerf it. Carriero. I think I'm gonna put it in the same one as Anchorman, advanced playmaker, because once again, the right formation, the right player, that's in like overpowered category. But I think those are potential to go up there if you got the right player. But I just don't think that they're good enough to be like in the top tier. Central defender in the second tier. I think this year it is better than ball playing defender because they just they don't really do that trying to play somebody clean through sort of aspect. But in Football Managers before, it would definitely be ball playing defenders up here and central defenders there. But at the moment, it's like that. Complete forward, same as all these. Very situational. You basically need like Harry Kane, like maybe Sasa Kalai due to my relegation specialist series would probably be able to do. Like you'd need somebody with high passing, high off ball, high positioning, high finishing. You'd need everything to make a complete forward. And once again, you'd need like an absolute elite tier forward to do that. Central midfielder, I'm going to put the highest with advanced forward. Extremely overpowered if you know how to use them. It isn't as low as these, because central midfielder, you got the 3 different aspects. The defend is like a kind of just sits deeper and tries to just get help around. You have the support where they get to the edge of the box and sort of plays in that attacking playmaker sort of role. And then you got attack, where it's literally like a Segundo Volante, where they defend deep and attack really high, and it's really overpowered. If you have somebody with a high work rate, that and like decent finishing, central midfielder on attack is outstandingly brilliant. Complete wing back, I think I'm gonna put it in this tier again. In a 5, complete wing backs are really good. In a 4 where you got a halfback or an anchor man, it can be pretty good. But once again, if you have somebody that isn't like an elite tier fullback, it just doesn't work. Because if you got somebody who doesn't know how to cross, doesn't know how to dribble, them kind of useless in that position. Deep line forward, I think I'm going to put it in the second tier. I really think they're underrated, deep line forwards. They're essentially an overpowered target man, if that's going to spoil the rest of the thing. But I really think that target man are really what deep line forwards are in game. They help people get into attack. They help other people get into positions. They hold up balls. They play people through. They also, if you put it on attack, they also score loads and loads and loads of goals. Absolutely outstanding position, and I recommend it. If you've got a front 2, deep line forward and attacking playmaker together, advanced forward together, DLF and AF together up front, especially with the deep line forward on support, I'm talking brilliant front 2. No need to do anything otherwise. Deep line playmaker, top tier. Everybody knows why. Drops deep, sprays balls, got loads of position to receive passes. You can spread the ball play. It's basically like a ball playing defender, but in midfield. Absolutely outstanding position, especially when you got midfielders that have actually got good vision. Like, they can be stupidly good deep line playmakers can. DM. I'm not too sold on DMs, really. I think I'm going to put it here, in the 3rd tier. But I do think that they're a tiny bit like the tiny bit tactically like limited, if you know what I mean. Like, if you have a good DM, you got a good team. If you got a bad team with a DM, they kind of get a bit lost in like translation. There isn't really any, like, it's quite vague on how they actually play in a weaker side. Defensive winger, I'm going to put it in the same tier as all these lot. Once again, when you see a defensive winger on tactics on the internet, it's always in like some overpowered tactic. But the only formations that I can reasonably see me putting them in is like a 3-back with like a 5-man midfield, and I don't really like doing them formations because like defensive wingers aren't really that defensive. They're just support. It's like an overpowered wide playmaker for me. Either wide playmaker or wide midfielder. I really hope them two positions get a bit of love for next Football Manager, but yeah. And Ganj, I'm going to put it below those because I have seen tactics and formations within Ganges, but I don't really rate them. I know it's supposed to be the primary playmaker within the side, but nah. Same with False 9, sort of the same sort of idea. False 9 trying to bring people else into play. Same with Ganj, but I just think that deep line forward, complete forward, advanced playmaker, attacking midfielder are better than these two if you want to play a formation. Fullback, absolute overpowered this year, especially fullback support attack. Them two are brilliant this year. Defensively responsible, helping out the attacking, supporting role / overlapping. Absolutely overpowered this Football Manager. And goalkeeper, I'm going to put it up there as well. I do think sweeper keeper has been nerfed this year. I prefer a goalkeeper to a sweeper keeper this year. I think passing in general has been nerfed a tiny bit this Football Manager. Certain positions and certain tactics are just not useful at all this Football Manager. Halfback, I'm going to put in this tier. Higher divisions, you've got a DM that helps in defence. You've got a DM that helps transition into midfield from defence. You have a DM that stays as a 3 when they attack, so you're less susceptible to a counter-attack. In the lower leagues, half-back with something more creative next to it is just perfect. I'm going to put it there. Inside forward, always going to be overpowered, that is. Absolutely really overpowered inside forwards. They do those like little inverted runs in between the fullback and the centre backs, and them just really overpowered inside forwards are. Inverted wing back, I'm going to put just underneath the top tier. If you get them working inverted wing backs in every single division, they just are overpowered. But if you get them wrong, they can go quite wrong in terms of you get exploited down the sides a bit more. But if you get them working, it's absolutely brilliant time for you. Inverted winger, just another solid. Like all these second tier and up are just ones that you should just have in every single formation basically. And one that you shouldn't have in any formation is the Libero. Libero, you might have one player a save, and it's one player that plays for Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, Bayern Munich. He only plays for those sides because the amount of statistics and like your overall ratings that you need to have an absolutely world-class Libero is just like you have to be lucky to find one. There have to be basically a defensive midfielder that's like at a world-class level, but is more defensive than attacking. Like, Libero, you might have one a save, and you have to do like 20 years to get it. Metzola, I'm going to put into the third tier. Once again, brilliant if you know how to get it working, but I think they've been a bit nerfed, this Football Manager. There used to be like a wide attacking playmaker, attacking midfielder. But like this year, them kind of like a support carrier, and I don't really appreciate what they can do to a team now. But once again, big team, put it on attacking, you can do wonders. No nonsense are at the bottom tier. Unless you're literally got like a one passing godlike defender in like the 6th tier of English football, there is no reason for you to play a no nonsense centre back, along with no nonsense full back. if you got a no-nonsense fullback, you're managing like Kidderminster in the 6th tier. You've got somebody who's like absolutely world class at defending, like 13 marking and like 13 tackling. He's 5'4", no pace, and like 2 passing. That's why you'd play a no-nonsense fullback. Pressing forward, I'm gonna put in that 2nd tier. Pretty useful in every tier of football. Poacher, I think I'm gonna put it there as well. Along with pressing forward, those easily could drop down to this 3rd tier, but I just think because of their prevalence and like their like you can just bang them in every single team. That's got to go in that 2nd tier. Regista, I've warmed up to the Regista on the relegation specialist. I wasn't too sold on it before because I just thought it was like a more lazy deep line playmaker in that DM position. But I do actually appreciate how they can just not play make, but just keep the ball ticking in your team. I quite like it. Certainly in the 3rd tier. I definitely don't think they're really overpowered. I don't think them that prevalent in the teams. I just think them just solid. Them better than these 5 anyway. Ruimdeuter, I think I'm going to put it there. Along with Engange, Force 9, Ruimdeuter. Kind of useful in certain teams, but I just think inverted forward, like 2nd striker, deep line playmaker, like all those trump Ruimdeuter in those 3 positions. Roaming playmaker, put in this one again with Regista. Kind of like how Regista does it for the team, the roaming playmaker does it for himself. Think Ericsson for Man United, where he just pops into positions and tries to play make. Where Regista just pops into positions and just keeps the ball ticking. Kind of useful in certain positions, certain formations, but not in all. Sweeper keeper, I'm gonna definitely put it in like the one below goalkeeper because it's been nerfed so much. Like, to have a sweeper keeper on this year's Football Manager, you definitely need somebody above, like, especially in the Premier League, you definitely need somebody above, like, 13 first touch, and if you have somebody below that, it's pretty much useless now. Shadow Striker, I'm going to put it in the 3rd tier. Pretty good. Used to be better. I think if you play, like, a cam strike in, like, a 4-4-1-1 or 4-2-3-1, and you have like offsets or ones on the left hand side, ones on the right hand side, I do think it's quite good as like a 2nd runner sort of thing. But if you have like a formation like a 4-3-1-2 or like a 5-2-1-2, I don't think they're useful at all. You need a playmaker or just somebody who supports the midfield in their formations. Target man, really, really poor, along with wide target man. In theory, I really like these, but in reality, when I play them on Football Manager, they're kind of a bit pointless because they just stand still. They don't. They kind of on support target man and wide target man can work, but them just bested by deep line playmaker and inverted winger on support. Like, I had Sasa Kalajdzic scoring like 14 goals for me in that end of that Wolves save, and the guy was on deep line playmaker when I really wanted him on target man. Like on the first episode, I swear I said something like I wanted to play Sasa on the left hand side as a wide target man so we could drop down to like a Dharma or Cunha, and it just didn't work. I think I played against Blackburn and it just didn't work. Trequartista, I'm gonna put it in the same team, same area as these 4, same sort of position really. I just think that there's better roles in the higher tiers, like Trequartista, False 9 beats it, Ruimdeuter beats it, Enganche beats it, and that's in the same tier. So, Segundo Volante, one of the most overpowered positions on Football Manager. Defends like a DM, attacks like a second striker. They are absolutely overpowered. Especially if you have like a midfield like three, and you have two Segundo Volantes and a halfback or an anchor. Like, it's perfect. It's brilliant. But I don't think you can even do that. But yeah, bro, it's fine. It's literally the most over. Like, even if you have it on support, it attacks like a box to box. It's so brilliant. Like that is one of the positions alongside like maybe central midfielder on attack, where I really think that they should nerf that for the next game. They're so good. Wing back, every team needs them. Wide midfielders are gonna go to the bottom. Wing back, I think they've nerfed wing back attack in terms of back in like Football Manager 20, you used to be able to put a wing back on attack, and they used to just defend like fullbacks anyway. You never got counted down the sides, but now teams are like aware that you've got areas to attack and the wide positions when you put it on attack, so they focus down that one side. But if you have lopsided, so you have like a wing back and a fullback, like on the fullback positions, it's okay. It's pretty good. Winger, I'm gonna put this here, the third tier. I think it's quite useful, but I don't really think that at the highest tier of the game, the winger is useful in any capacity, because surely you're going to be playing better football. I do think the winger on support is basically the wide playmaker and wide midfielder. Winger on support is like Grealish at Man City, where he basically just dribbles forward to get into position and just lays off the ball to somebody better. Wide playmaker goes on the bottom tier, because I just think that if you're playing wingers, you don't want somebody who's like your primary creator out wide, really. And there you go. There's my tier list of the positions on Football Manager. Thank you all for watching this first episode. Please like, please subscribe, and goodbye.